Okay. Oh, wow. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it's way late. Almost an hour late. I slept in this morning purely because I had one of those, not midnight, but the middle of the night. It was between the 3 and the 5 where I just could not sleep. And when I got back to sleep, I went a bit over. That's life, isn't it? I'm Boundy, psychic medium, bringing you the daily Lenormand card spread reading. So let's get to it. We'll go over there to tune into your psychic senses and connect in with your spirit guides as well. Okay, that is what we need to do. Here we go. Oops, and it's zoomed in already. Don't want that. Here we go. The Gilded Breviary Lenormand deck. Ciro Marchetti's the creator, and it's his expanded edition that we're accessing. None of those present here today. We've got the cross in the home space, the coffin as the theme of the day, and we have the bear in the workspace. And for our card we have, let's read it. Don't let anyone rustle your feathers. It feels like we've had this one fairly recently, but I think it was a cycle ago. There we go. Beautiful card. And now I shall zoom in to the cards. Here we go. Beautifully seeing them beautifully. Are you? There you go. Now, I think I need to check the comments. No, there's nothing there yet. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go onto Instagram this morning or LinkedIn. For some reason, the RTMP sections didn't work. So, okay, that's technology. We're lucky to have what we have. Here we are with our coffin. Now, the coffin, yes, it's a death card, but it's not just of the physical body death of a person you may know. Although that could be likely, have an awareness around that. We do be, sorry, just turn down the iPad. We are reminded every so often that yes, we are mortal and we have a physical life here and then we move on. This is the reminder that all things actually have a physical life, although when you go back into archaeology and you see some of the artifacts that are brought forward, you sort of wonder, wow, there's so much of the physical realm that we create that still does last for the centuries and centuries, millennia even, as we've got the science that keeps revealing different aspects of what is our archaeological history. It's a fascinating area of science, and you know we do learn from it, but how much we learn from it, you know, until we're actually living in those moments, we don't really understand it fully. We're living in our space of history right now. Let's be present in that and understand it so that what artifacts and things that we leave for others to discover show fairly clearly what has happened in this era, this century, the couple around us of centuries, but right now is what we're living in. So clear out that is old, that is no longer useful for us at the moment, and create our own history, our own stamp in the world, so that then can be passed on to others as well. And I'm very mindful of this as I'm starting my business of Boomer Press, so that is one of the things that is fairly foremost in my mind. But things that we do need to send forward into that next realm, create it in our stories, you know, write it down, that type of thing. And that does tend to last for a long time as part of our history. But what we have is being that is, well, I'm not going to say noteworthy. I think being who you are to be remembered as you want people to remember you into those next centuries as much as possible, if that's what you would desire. It's not everybody's cup of tea that they want to be famous and known forever and all of that type of thing. But it's lovely to be able to pass on that knowledge of what is your instance in this world to your next generations. So I do feel this connection with the coffin right now. if you are grieving losing some of these things and stuff like, the stuff of life, because there has been the horrendous, the hurricanes and storms and floods and everywhere, in places around the world, most notably around the Florida and the rest. I don't know, I'm not as familiar with the US geography, but I sort of understand roughly where it is, and I feel for those experiencing this horrendous weather. But apparently it is a reasonably common thing in the season there. So be prepared, grieve for what you have lost, and move on, and in the time that you need, okay? It's not to rush anything. It's being present in what you're experiencing right now, okay? And having that openness and willingness to allow that to move onward where it needs to be. Okay, so now we're going to go to the cross in the home space. I haven't got any other comments yet, so maybe being this late is not the best, but if you're watching in replay, thank you so much. In our home space, the cross, now this was in our workspace yesterday, so it's shifted its placing. The emphasis today is now back to home and those responsibilities that we have and the trust that we can put in each other as family connection, that we have in our relationships, that we have within ourselves as well, here, right at our heart. Communicate with those who are around you so that you all understand what you feel about what responsibilities you have in the home space. I remember when I was a kid that there was a board on I can't remember whether it was on the fridge. I don't think Mum would have allowed us to put things on the fridge. So we might have had like a corkboard chart thing that had our responsibilities as our chores. Whose roster was it to do the washing of the dishes? Who was it to do the drying of the dishes? Who was it that was doing the putting away in that particular evening rotation? We did chores like dusting and sweeping outside on the outside area. That was a lovely space, but we each had a chore associated with that. So it's things that we need to communicate and cooperate with each other as we live in the one house. It really is about the relationships first, and then what else it is that we're doing in that home space. Trust that what we're doing is the right thing as parents if we have children, that how we are choosing to raise those children is the right way for us as a family as such. All those beautiful ideas that come forward with the light of that golden energy, that is, and this is stained with glass windows, lead light windows behind, that almost seem church-like, but they're not quite, when you can see the patterning in this, in what I'm seeing. It is stained glass, but yeah, not church-like. It's just like a beautiful aspect of a wonderful, glorious home. Actually, that's what I'm seeing as I glance at the real card. The webcams don't do justice to what you can see through a camera. Lovely energy there, and seeing that in our home space today, bring that trust of self and what you experience fully to the fore today. And good morning, Corinna. Lovely to see you here. Okay. Now I'm going to shift across to the bear card. Excuse me, I'm just going to have to take a sip of my coffee. Just feeling that bit of a lump there, a bit weird, but you know what it's like when you first get up in the morning. And I haven't been awake that often, that long yet, not often, that long yet. Been awake often through the night, yes. The bear is about work, quite appropriate in the workspace here, because what we can see is how much that bear is going to need to put in effort to getting to the solid ground or ice, whatever solid space it's going to need to be shortly, type of thing. We can see that it's taking a bit of work. Whatever is happening underwater, not seen by us, if we were viewing this bear from the surface, we wouldn't see all the action that this bear is putting into how it moves and works its way through the water. It looks like it's gliding through the water so smoothly when we see from the top, like any other creature that, ducks on the pond type of thing, and the way they move their legs. The swans, they're beautiful when they're gliding through, but it takes that work to really move through. It's in its perfect environment. It knows its task. Its purpose is ahead. You can see the determination on this face. It's a beautiful creature. We're working in the right space, in the right timing, and getting things done. This is what the card is saying to me this morning. So move through with ease. Even though it might take some work, it's something that you have the skills for, you know what you're doing, and it's going to just create a beautiful flow for you today. That's what I'm seeing in the bear today. Okay, so trust again what you're experiencing in your day. Sit with that inner self and contemplate, is this for me? Hi, Michelle. Lovely to see you here this morning. And to Sarah, good morning, lovely. So you'll be watching the replay. You've only just come in here. I'm just about to finish. So with this, take that time to really move into that inner space throughout your day so that you are basing whatever you do on that you are knowing for yourself and those around you, what you need to allow to move on, what you need to be working toward, and that you have that inner communication to be able to make it clear to others that you're not going to take on absolutely every job just because you're being asked to. Make sure that you know when you can say no to things as well, because you are going to be in your flow and abilities to work through whatever is your day today. Okay, so that's the cards for us today. Thank you so much for spending your time with me as live, and thank you so much for watching replays as Sarah's going to go back and re-watch. It is a wonderful technology that we have, but it's not the be-all and end-all of life, having the technology around us. Spend the time without the gadgets for a moment or two and really sit in that space that is your connection with your spiritual realm, your higher self, whatever name you put by your God or your entities, in whatever way you know it works for you. Keep being the best you that you can be, and I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully around to the 8 o'clock. Namaste.